Now, listen, you guys, one thing about karma is it surely misses no address, okay? Now, we're going to be talking about Mike Kyser getting fired from Pacific, and this is the man who is basically behind the Transformer. We're also going to be discussing about Bongo 2 changing her album into a mixtape simply because Nicki Minaj literally played her, and we're also going to be talking about Milagro and the Transformer still getting going at it. Atasha Cobbs is out there submitting blessings, and Taylor Swift is out there surpassing Rihanna in as far as net worth is concerned. Now, these are some of the things that we are going to be talking about in this video. Hello, tea lovers, and welcome to the tea blog. I trust you guys are doing well, and I trust you are doing great. Personally, I am doing great, you guys. I am doing extremely amazing. And without further ado, let us dive straight into today's tea. Yeah, so you guys, we are still in the process of catching up, on a lot of things that happened when I was not around. So in that spirit, let us talk about this entire situation with Mike Kyser getting fired from Pacific. Now, for the benefit of those of you who do not know who this man is, who this dad is, well, he is basically the man behind, the notion of the Transformer, quote unquote, replacing Nicki Minaj. He is the guy that is well known for bragging about how, he brought in the Transformer to be Nicki Minaj's competition, to be, Nicki Minaj's, replacement. So that's basically that man. Allegedly, he's also the man who is behind, obviously, the H train for Nicki Minaj. Now, this is what, he said, just to give you a little bit of background story on how vile this man is. He was getting interviewed, and this is what the question was. The interviewer said, I mean, ish, you see where she's at now. Did you foresee that? They were basically referencing the Transformer, and he said 1000%. She will tell you out of her own mouth. The first meeting I had with the Transformer with other executives, I said in the meeting, this is going to be Nicki Minaj's competition here. I remember the conversation. Everyone was like, whoa, buddy. Other executives were saying I'm tripping. I remember when I met her and the only thing she wanted was a song on the radio. She was like, I just want my song on the radio. That's why I posted something the other day that said, you said you just wanted your song on the radio, and it's safe to say we got a lot more than that. So this is the man that is responsible for saying that, okay, for doing all of that. And so for me to hear news that, well, he has lost his job. Why am I saying he might be losing? He has lost his job. For me, that is definitely music to my ears. This man has been allegedly known for doing Nicki Minaj dirty. He is the same man who was out there stalking Nicki Minaj and trying to talk to her after spearheading an entire S train against this woman. And Ken was like, was getting ready to square up with him, but Nicki, told Ken to, calm down, chill, and let him, go. And so when I see this man, I see a clown. Anyway, this is what's being reported about this man now that you have a background story about who he is. Other executives that were believing as part of the reorganization include Mike Kyser, president of the Black Music at Atlantic Records, Paul Sinclair, general manager, executive VP at Atlantic Records, Grace James, executive VP or head of marketing. Now, Grace is the one that the Transformer was bragging about in one of her rants when she was coming at Joe Biden. And so for me to see Kyser doing that now, of course, people on the internet were making jokes saying that, well, maybe the reason why he was trying to approach Nicki Minaj is he was looking for a job and heavy on it. And I was like, that is absolutely hilarious. Now, when I see people paying for their evil doings, I absolutely love to watch it happen, because what do you mean you're spearheading an entire S train against just one woman? Like, why? Just so you can create room for somebody who doesn't even have a quarter of the talent that this woman has. So honestly, I mean, if I were also a part of the new management at Atlantic, I would fire this man, because clearly his Project XY did nothing but bleed the company of a lot of fans. So I mean, if you spend that much money on an artist who now now is hardly putting out music, I mean, I would also fire you. So, I mean, I understand the reorganization, power to them, okay? Now, the next thing that we are going to be talking about, we're going to talk about Bongo 2. Still speaking about keeping up with Onika Tanya Maraj. Now, you guys know the little stand that Bongo 2 and, of course, the team tried to pull when Nicki Minaj announced that there was going to be another deluxe version of Pink Friday. Bongo 2 came out of nowhere and started announcing that there's going to be Megan Act 2. She made it clear that it was an Act 2, which meant a deluxe album. Okay, because that's the only logical thing. And so after that, Nicki Minaj came out and said that I'm no longer going to release a deluxe album. That's what she said. And she said that, well, she's going to be releasing a brand new album. And shamelessly, you guys, like, I'm just like, at this point, how sick do you have to be? Like, where's the shame? Seriously. Because this girl, Bongo 2, then came out and started saying that, well, her album is no longer a deluxe album, but she's going to be releasing a mixtape. And I'm just like, what? You guys, this amount of obsession is not healthy. Like, it's not proper. Okay, so now this is what she said. She said, hardest mixtape of 2024. Okay, now Megan X2 is going to be a mixtape. And I'm just like, girl, like, what are is this? Like, can you, oh my God. This is embarrassing at this point. It seems like clearly they wanted to attach her name to Nicki Minaj, and Nicki Minaj said, I'm playing chess, play with yourself. You're not in the league with me. And I love to see that. Now, the next thing that we are going to be talking about, we're going to talk about this entire Glamor magazine interview. So they decided to do a couple of interviews with some moms, of some Hollywood stars, including there was Beyonce's mom, obviously Tina Noel's. There was Selena Gomez's mom. There's also Billie Eilish's mom. And people thought like it was disrespectful that they left out, Kris Jenner, because you guys know that, well, a lot of people feel like, well, she is the ultimate momager. And so, yeah, that was received with mixed feelings, with people saying that, well, regardless of how you feel about her, she's that girl when it comes to managing her children and things like that. And I'm like, I totally agree with your sentiments. What the Kardashians have done is absolutely amazing, especially given their claim to fame and everything. It's amazing what Kris has managed to do with their brand. But when I look at the lineup of all these people that are here, these are extremely talented people. Do you get what I'm saying? It's not like they're just famous. It's not about them being extremely rich. It's about them being absolutely talented. When you look at, Selena Gomez, when you look at Billie Eilish and Phineas, like, come on, this is talent that we're talking about. Look at Tina Knowles for Beyonce. I mean, this is, for me, these people are talented, and I feel like it would be actually disrespectful to these to these people's children, to put them in the same sentence with the Kardashians. They are all are famous in their own lanes, but this is not the lane for the Kardashians, okay, in my own opinion. But anyway, let me know, you guys, in the comment section what you think about that. In that interview, Tina also took time to talk about how protective she is of Beyonce and, of course, generally of her girls. And I'm just like, okay. I guess people, questioning her for always coming out to defend Beyonce. I guess she finally addressed that. Well, naturally, she's just overprotective and things like that, because, yeah, people were beginning to say that it looks a certain type of way. It looks like they tell her not to respond so that, people can say she doesn't respond to stuff. Meanwhile, she comes out here and does the groundwork. But I'm like, I don't have a child, but I'm sure if I have a kid, I will be doing all the groundwork if you try and play with my child. I think I'm going to be that kind of a mom. But anyway, let me know, you guys, in the comment section what you think about that. Now, the next thing that we are going to be talking about, we're going to talk about the Transformer and her husband. Now, with this situation, you guys, I'm not going to dwell much on it, but it seems like a lot of these things are PR stunts, okay? Because there is a video that is circulating of the Transformer's husband, Offset, obviously dancing with the Transformer's grandmother, celebrating some kind of birthday or something like that. And first of all, I'm like, who made the video available online? Because, I mean, if her family knows that, they are going through a divorce and they're telling people that, well, they're not together, who would be messy enough to leak that from a family? That's why I believe that everything is PR at this point, because it is giving that, well, let's leak this, let's get the people talking. People are forgetting that we are getting a divorce. People are forgetting that my Temu version of Lemonade is coming out. So let's leak this video to get the conversation back to the divorce again. Still speaking about her, Milagro and her, clearly they're like oil and water. They're never going to mix, because for some reason she woke up today and decided to unblock Milagro. All this while she had blocked her when she was doing all those rants on Twitter, on Spaces. She was blocking Milagro. So Milagro seems to have realized that, well, she got unblocked. So she took a screenshot of her profile and said, "What you unblocked me for? You're making yourself mad at this point." And I'm just like, with the two of them, I'm just going to watch and see how everything is going to play out, because it seems like they are enemies, in my own opinion. Now, the next thing that we are going to be talking about, we're going to talk about Tasha Cobbs. It is actually being reported that Tasha Cobbs has submitted a Blessings, her song with Nicki Minaj, for as a Grammy submission. And it is also being reported that in the past she has won twice actually in this particular category, and the category is Best Christian Contemporary Performance or Song at the Grammys. So yeah, let's see how everything is going to play out. Let's see if she's gonna get the Grammy, or if they will also snap her just the way they have been, just because also, I mean, on the song there is Nicki Minaj, so giving her the award would mean giving Nicki Minaj the award. Okay, the next thing that we are going to be talking about, we're going to talk about Taylor Swift. Now, it is actually being reported that Taylor Swift has now surpassed Rihanna as the richest female musician, and she is now sitting at 1.6 billion US dollars, and meanwhile Rihanna is sitting at 1.5. And so yeah, it seems like things are actually working out for Taylor Swift. I mean, I'm not shocked. This girl works, okay? She really does work hard. That's one thing you cannot take away from the girl. She works really hard, and so it would make sense that she gets to that net worth. And yeah, so let me know what you think about that, you guys, in the comment section. Now, the next thing that we are going to be talking about, we're going to talk about Pacific, okay? Now, everybody knows that, people have been accusing Pacific of doing artists dirty and things like that. And I do know that if it comes from certain female artists, or if it comes from a certain female rapper, people don't receive it, with any form of positivity. People feel like it's a conspiracy theory. Oh my God, she's coming up with these things in her head. It doesn't exist. But when a person like Lupe Fiasco comes out here and tells you how that record label is messy, of course, you guys will start to believe that. So Lupe decided to share with us that, well, there was an Atlantic CEO whose name is Craig. He actually went his way to call up a radio station to have, the spins on Kick Push slowed down, so that someone could fly to the Philippines and acquire the song it sampled before it blew up. Well, just so they could own the sample. You guys, imagine going to those lengths. According to Lupe, this man actually did call, personally call these radio stations to say, don't play that song. So if they can do this much, imagine what they can do to a female rapper that they want to end. But one thing I love about Karma and everything related, everything under this earth, is at the end of the day, there's only one force that is in control, and that is the God force. Okay? And it's only a matter of time before you start paying up for your evil doings. Now, you guys, let me not do all the talking. Let me insert what Lupe had to say so that you guys can hear that for yourself.
So we moving and grooving, shaking and baking, doing what we do. And the third. So we moving and grooving, shaking and baking, doing what we do. And the head of the radio station at the time, the PD, calls Chill, because they don't, first name basis, cell phone, call me, you need something. And he was like, yo, we just got a call from Craig Kalman himself. Mm-hmm. The chairman of Atlantic Records, telling us to slow down and on playing the record, like to slow the spins down, because we spinning up. So we get through mix show, we get into rotation. Now we looking at power rotation, and at that point, GCI, the station in Chicago, was the big stick for the region. So whatever
we're on GCI too. So shout out to GCI.
Yeah. Whatever Chicago was playing, the rest, Milwaukee would play, and then Detroit would play, and so in that region. So to get in power rotation meant like, oh, we one step away from being national with a record independently without Atlantic doing anything. So it's like, hey, once y'all tune in, shout out to Crespo, shout out to all the folks, the promotion folks at Atlantic. It's like, okay, we've already built it up like this. Y'all just come in and knock it out the box, take it where it needs to go. But that didn't happen. The CEO was telling people to stop playing the record. They went out and bought. I give it to you like this. So Kick Push is a sample. It's a very, very rare, unique sample that was released on some song in the Philippines back in wherever, right? Really local kind of thing.
So you got it cleared.
The only reason that we have that sample is because the producer soundtrack is Filipino, and it's part of his kind of he heard that song coming up as a kid because dad playing it, but we never heard that record before, ever. Non-Filipino, shout out to all my Filipinos. But like, just, that's not in the milieu. So the only reason you know it because it has this very regional piece. Soundtrack does it. We do the record. People love it. Pops off. Atlantic, so you think like, okay, Craig is trying to slow the record down. Like, why? Why is he trying to slow the record down? That doesn't make any sense.
Right.
It's popping. It's hard to get records placed at radio. It's a lot of competition. 50's right here. Lil Wayne's right here. Such and such right here. Here's the little record that could trying to make it through. Why would you do that? Right? Why would you do that? Why would the chairman of this public company make that decision so detailed for himself to call this little radio station in Chicago to tell them to stop playing this record before it goes national? Because at the same time that they were doing that, they were flying somebody to the Philippines to find this lady to buy the sample.
That's dedication.
That's what they did.
That is dedication.
They flew somebody to the Philippines to find the person, and they bought the rights to the record. So they own the Kick Push sample.
So they were making money anyway off of it, but they were waiting to get the sample.
Right. They're like,
in order
let's not go national yet because we don't own the record yet.
Now, when they call to ask GCI to slow it down, does the program director say yes, or because you guys have your own relationship?
But he has to make a decision.
Right, because there's other artists signed.
Because there's other artists and there's other things and there's other benefits to keeping your relationship. And who are we, right? We in the city, we're going to come find you, right? But we're not going to do that. So, but at the end of the day, that's the only thing you really got to worry about with us. But with them, you got to worry about them blacklisting you from this artist if they want to come perform at your birthday, summer bash, celebration concert.
Now you can't get any of our artists.
Now you can't get none of our artists. You can't do this, you can't do that. And so it's genius business. As a business, there are no rules. Whatever I need to do, kidnap your grandmother, fine. For real, right? And the third.
Well, there you heard that, you guys. There you heard what Lupe had to say about Atlantic. I hope you guys now believe the allegations that keep flying in the air about how dirty they do certain artists. Now, the next thing that we are going to be talking about, we're going to talk about Miss Lauryn Hill. Now, Miss Lauryn Hill is actually being sued for breach of contract and fraud by her fellow bandmate. And it seems like this man is accusing Lauryn of doing multiple things and saying that, the show that they were supposed to do did not become very successful because she was out there mismanaging the fans, the budget of, the band for their tour that they were supposed to do. Now, you guys do know that there were a lot of things that were being, put on Lauryn, with some people saying that, her tendency of showing up to shows late is what's causing this. Oh my goodness, this and that. You just know how people are like when it comes to matters like this. So it seems like this bandmate is actually putting everything on Lauryn Hill and saying that she has so much ego and that she is narcissistic, she's arrogant, and all of these things, you guys. However, Lauryn Hill came out to clear everything out, saying that they actually gave this guy an advance to clear out. Allegedly, he had his own situation. So, instead of being grateful, this guy decided to come out here and come for Lauryn Hill. So let me know, you guys, in the comment section, whose side are you rocking with? Who are you believing in this entire lawsuit, okay?
How are you? I'm coming on to announce that, yes, it's true. Gag City, St. Louis has the crown like I predicted that they would. Okay. Gag City, St. Louis was just gag after gag, okay? St. Louis, we love you. St. Louis, you have been so important to me from the beginning of my career. And to come back all these years later, and it is just the same beautiful energy. So yes, they do. They have the crown. Okay. Right now, I am about to take photos. I'm taking photos with Nicki trivia winners. Okay. So you see, Barbz, it pays to be a smart Barb. Okay. It pays. What do you mean Nicki smacked? It pays to focus on smart shit and not dumb shit. You see, while we was on the app and I was giving out upgrades and stuff and meet and greets, you know, some people might not have understood it. But the smart Barbs are getting what they deserve, okay? Shout out to the smart Barbs. I love my smart Barbs. Okay. Anyway, so guys, I'm going to go out and say goodbye to them and take photos with them. And where are we next, y'all? Are we in Jacksonville? Okay. I believe our next stop I got you. I got one city on the tour. I got y'all. Shh. Okay. Anyway, nobody answered. Nobody helped me. I was asking what is the next stop on the tour. I see my Nigerian Barbs. I see my South African Barbs. And not one of my American Barbs answered the question. Okay. How are you felt? How am I felt? Hey, Tate Cobain, what's goody? Hi, Kenya, how are you? Can Tampa get Sweet Dreams remix? I do not know. You know, it just be a vibe. But I do know that Gag City St. Louis tonight, they got a lot of things. Do not come on Twitter being all jealous of them, okay? I love you back, Barbz. All right, let me go. I gotta do my meet and greets. Love you guys.